Good evening, this is Carolyn with Scrapbooking with a Twist. We are going to do another Around the World in 30 Days scrapbook page. We are going to do Venice, Italy tonight. And it says, these are the rules for Venice, Italy. Ciao, welcome to the, I wish I had made this bigger. Welcome to the city of water and bridges, home of gelato and gondola rides. To earn your stamp for this country, scrap a page that is about water. Example, beach, pool, water parks, anything with water is allowed. And be sure to have some sunshine. So, since I have been to Venice, Italy, I am going to actually scrap Venice, Italy. There's plenty of water in these pictures, and I made some sunshine. So here are my pictures. Let me get this out of the way. My pictures, here's me actually on a gondola ride. You can tell it was hot and sweaty. You can tell by my hair. And here is a picture of the Grand Canal back in behind me. Here's a picture of one of the little canals, the little street canals. And then this is a picture of the cathedral. So those are the pictures I'm going to use tonight. And then I want to show you what I made. I worked on this last night, probably for, I don't know, hour and a half, because I was determined to have a gondola. So it took me a hot minute to get it done. This, just the part that's black, was a piece of chipboard, and I'd always thought I would use it as a bridge or something. I don't even know where it came from. And but like for, you know, like a Japanese garden or something, I always thought it was a neat bridge. Well, when I saw this bridge in this picture, I thought, well, that would work. And then the more I got to looking at it, I turned it over and I thought, no, I can make it a gondola. So I painted it black, and then I cut the red and just almost backed it like a cut file. And then I had these, this is just some leftovers from a New Year's layout that I did, and so I inlaid them in there, and then it took me a couple of tries to get this the way I wanted it, to put this so that it would stand out. But anyway, I finally got my gondola made, and we're going to use it on this layout tonight. So we're going to start by putting our pictures down. And as always, I've got a lot of pictures. I have 4 pictures that I'm going to get on this page. So we're going to put our pictures down, and then we'll start building our little embellishment stuff. So I'm going to have to keep these pretty close to the bottom to get everything on this page that I want on it. I actually have a title that I'm going to put on here that isn't cut yet. So I'm going to, when you see the layout share, you'll see the title on there. And I'm going to do some journaling. I'll show you where I'm going to journal. And then I think I just want this picture down here, like that. So maybe like that. Okay, so that has those. Let's go ahead and get this picture up here in the corner. And then we can start doing the rest of our stuff. I'm going to just kind of put it up there on the same line as these down here. Okay, now I have this cute little guy. I thought, he looks plenty good to be a gondola, whatever they're called, driver. I don't know what they're called. Gondolier, I don't know what they're called. But he looks enough like one, so we're going to use him. I had this little cutout that I think was just one that I had left over from somewhere. And so I'm using some yellows, but I'm going to put a little bit of reds on them because I made a sunshine. We have to have sunshine on this layout. And I didn't just like it in the plain yellow. So I did some red on it that really kind of almost gets it to an orangey, yellow and orange. So I want to do that same thing on some of these pieces that I'm going to use. Some flowers in this, this little piece of ephemera. It's not really ephemera, it's a die cut. But I want that red on them just to kind of tie it all together. Not really any. If I had done this before, I would have done ink blending and put it on there, but I didn't do it before. This was one that was just in my extra cutout drawer, and I just pulled it out to use. So let's see what this looks like. In under here. And then I have some flowers that I'm going to, I think I'm going to cut part of this off. We may use it somewhere else, but for now we're just going to cut part of it off. Stick this in under here. Something like that. Let's go ahead and get our sun up here in the corner. I'll show you how I made this sun. I just cut a circle. I think this is a 2-inch circle, and I laid it on the corner of my paper and just kind of made a line, and then just freehand cut the rays of the sun, and then took this same little ink dauber and just started doing this, and then around the edges to just to color it in some. But yes, I want it right up there in that corner. You can see where I did that on the back side. Drew in the circle and then, of course, colored it and did everything on the other side. Kind of tested it on that back side. So let's get this right up here in the corner. Okay, now I have some flowers that I think I have several, but I think these are the ones I'm going to use. These were just some flowers that I had left over from making an arrangement, and I thought, those will lay pretty flat, and so I just put them in my scrapbooking drawer and use them every once in a while for scrapbooking. These are that same yellow, but I'm going to put some red on them just to tie them together. Oh, I need a little red out here on this. I kind of turned that and need a little there. Good. But I just didn't like that plain stark yellow. So we're gonna get a little bit of the red on it like that. This one, I like to never found 3 of these smaller yellow flowers. This one was kind of bent up a little, but I think it'll be fine. So let's get that done, and we're going to put it with one, and then I'm going to do something with these down here. That's the only other place I'm going to have room to do anything like a cluster or anything. So just have these kind of sitting down here waiting, and I think I'll touch this up just a little, keep it. And then I have this that I also pulled out of my extra die cut drawer, so I'm going to just kind of touch it up some, so we may use it also. My puppies are growing. They're just getting so big. They have their eyes pretty much open now. So I think Monday I'll start teaching them how to lap milk. And then it won't be long after that where we'll start actually weaning them a little bit. Getting them on food. They're so sweet. All right, we've got that ready. Just some, I don't really want any, I just want to smudge it a little bit. Okay, so we've got this kind of laid out. I want to get my gondola on here. And I didn't have a whole lot of extra space to work with because this chipboard piece was almost probably like 11 inches. So I didn't have a whole lot of extra room to work with to make my little trim piece. So let's get this glued down. Just using some liquid adhesive to hold all of that. I put it all together with liquid adhesive too. Oh, we're going to put that. I want it to touch the tops of those photos. Hold that just a minute so that it'll adhere. Oh, I just touched with my gluey finger. Hold that. It won't take it but just a minute to adhere. Okay. Now, the fun part is going to be getting this on in the right place. So, I've already put some foam tape on that. See, I really didn't have hardly any room to make anything fancy out there on the ends because some of these gondolas are really fancy. But I think something about like that. And I just get this off, but I'm definitely going to put some liquid adhesive on these little tiny foam strips. These are those little thin ones like you can do shakers with and everything. And they're great, but I just like to reinforce them with a little bit of glue. Okay. Now let's see if we can get this in place. Now I wanted this to, those are a little thicker than the actual chipboard, and I wanted them to stand, I wanted it to stand out. Oops, glue. You know, and have a little more depth than my boat part anyway, so. All right. A little bit of glue there. Okay, I think that is probably as good as it's going to get. All right, now my little cutie. This, I just kind of lucked into. I bought a bunch of stuff at a garage sale, that like 2 or 3 tubs of stuff, and that a lady had passed away and they were selling her things. And this little guy was in that. And I just kept saving him, wondering, where can I use him? Knowing I would want to use him somewhere one of these days. Well, he is perfect for my little gondola man. So let's put him down. Get him up there. I just love him. And then this is one of the things I made in a swap one time. And the gondola guys sing to you, and sometimes there are 2 of them, and one sings and plays, and while the other one is, you know, driving the boat or using this big long thing to push the boat, actually. So we're gonna give him a little guitar. I don't know what they play, but it's like it's a guitar, I guess, that they play. So get his little guitar across there. All right, now let's see what we want to do down here. We want to do something. I really want to get 2 flowers down here so that we have an uneven number, if at all possible, on this kind of flourish. So I can do it this way, or I can do it this way. Let's see which one we like the best. While I'm playing with these flowers and putting them together, let's go ahead and do the twist. The twist tonight is from 2 Corinthians 5:7, and it says, "For the just shall live by faith and not by sight." You know, this world is absolutely gone crazy. I don't even recognize it anymore with the things that are going on, and I think most of us feel that way. But this world's really not our home. We're just passing through, as the song says. But you look around and it can just be scary. And so this scripture is saying, we just have to walk by faith and not by sight. Not by the world's standards, not by what's going on in the world. We change what we can and we do what we can, but the rest, we just have to depend on faith and know that God's in control regardless, and that one day, the scripture also says that those who endure to the end, to them will be given a crown of gold. And so that means we're going to be given a reward by God if we'll just endure. And right now it kind of feels like we're just enduring because things are so crazy. But so we just have to live by faith and not by sight, walk by God's standards and not the world's standards, and leave the rest to Him. I find a lot of comfort in that, in this crazy world of today. All right, let's get our flowers glued down. In Venice, everywhere you look, they have these window boxes. The apartments maybe 2 or 3 stories high, but they have these window boxes, and they have these gorgeous flowers that just cascade out over those window boxes. I don't know if they're begonias or I don't know what they are, but they're just gorgeous, and nearly all of them are the same color. They're the real vivid dark pink to red, and so I thought these flowers kind of represented that. And I'm going to use, these are actually just enamel dots, but they've got the metallic finish, and I've got gold. So I think I'm going to use the gold to, let's see if no, I don't need that, to finish these flowers off for the centers. That kind of brings that gold from the gondola to the rest of the layout. So there's one. Yes, I like that. There is one. And there is one. Oops, turn over. Turn over. There. Okay, so that's got centers in our flowers, but I really do think that gold, that kind of ties the gold that I used on that gondola. All right, I think I'm going to, I have a title that I've already worked up on my silhouette that says Venice, Italy, that I'm just going to put across there. And I am going to journal. I think I'm just going to journal right down here. So when you see this layout in my layout share later, you will see those two things. But for now, I think that is how I'm going to leave it, with my little gondola and my gondolier and my pictures from Venice, Italy. And we have our sunshine and we have plenty of water. So I think this should meet all the criteria. So I thank you for dropping by. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, and give me a thumbs up if you like this layout. And just have a blessed day, but more important, be a blessing to somebody else.